I'm out for my morning walk and just feeling grateful that I can go on a walk, that I have the time, that I have the ability. Feeling grateful for the quiet. Even though I live in a city, it's not hard to find a quiet green space to walk around, and I can hear the leaves and the birds. So just feeling full today.
Hi, it's Amy, and that was one of our board members, Hannah Carey. She's actually co-president of the board. A few weeks ago, I asked the whole Threshold crew to send me some thoughts on what they're grateful for this year, and I'm going to share some of their responses with you here in the last week of November 2020. I think most people will be happy to wave goodbye to this difficult year. I'm not going to list all the ways it's been hard. We all know. We all have our individual variations on that story. But maybe especially because it's been such a challenging time, it seems important to make some space for gratitude. And I want to start with my gratitude for you, our listeners. Many of you have already contributed to our membership drive. Thank you so much for that. And really, throughout this whole year, you've been hanging with us, listening to the show, supporting us, and helping us to keep our gaze on the long game here. We will get through this, and we will make more seasons of Threshold, for and with and because of you. I'm also so grateful for the entire Threshold team. We have a staff of 6, 3 part-timers, 3 full-time, and a 6-person volunteer board. All of them are giving so much to make this show happen. So thank you to my Threshold colleagues and to every single person who is joining us in this effort to have a deep, open-hearted, thoughtful reckoning with the reality of our environmental situation and the complex choices we have to make together at this pivotal time in human history. Here are a few more reflections on gratitude from our team. You'll hear from Kara Cromwell, Angela Swatek, Matt Herlihy, Talia Farnsworth, Eva Kalea, and Nick Mott. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
There was this phase when it was like the height of the sourdough craze, I think, for a lot of people, but also in my house, I was just going crazy baking bread. Fortunately, I had stocked up on flour, but I didn't think to stock up on yeast because nobody ever buys yeast. It's just not something that occurred to me. And then it was just the miracle of like being at Costco at the right time and landing on this delivery of 3-pound bags of yeast. And that made me super happy because it meant I could spend weeks continuing to churn out sourdough. But I also was able to put yeast in little jars and drive around to my friends in town. And I was like the yeast fairy, just dropping off little jars of yeast and bringing people joy. And it was a way to find a sense of community and connection and a way of reaching out to my friends. And so, yeah, it was my gratitude came in the form of a giant bulk Costco yeast bag. Thanks.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. This year and every year, but definitely this year in particular, I'm grateful for the love and constant support from my family, especially as I moved away from them, way across the country. I'm so grateful I got to see my brother get married. And I'm grateful for my husband, who gives me so much unconditional love. And I'm grateful for my cat, Wilma, too.
I'm grateful for just a sense of vulnerability that this has brought about in us. I think it has allowed a lot of folks to be a little more open with their emotions. It's allowed folks to recognize that it's okay not to be okay. It's given us a sort of deeper collective sense of who we are, and the fact that we are bound, whether we have different political ideas, different nationalities or backgrounds. Something like a virus really does take it down to your lowest common human denominator. And I think at some level that has made each of us realize how connected we are with each other. And that is a vulnerable thing, but I think it's also a beautiful thing. And I hope that when we're through this, people keep that in mind and act accordingly. I know that I'm going to try to do that, and I hope we all do.
More than anything else this year, I'm just feeling grateful for the basics. In a time when it's so difficult or not safe to travel, I live in the same city as my family, meaning that I can see them when I need to. And in a time when it's really easy to feel disconnected or isolated from the wider world, I live with a partner who can give me a hug when I need one. I'm grateful too for easy access to green space, good food on my table, all things that in a previous year I might not have thought twice about. I'm also feeling especially lucky to be the newest member of Team Threshold and to have added a few wonderful, hardworking, thoughtful, inspiring, and hilarious colleagues to my circle.
This has been a really tough year for a lot of reasons, but I'm really grateful this year for community, especially the community around Young Women Who Crush, which is a rock climbing program for young women and gender-expansive youth that I co-founded with two of my good friends, Alexis and Emily. And it's just been really amazing and inspiring to see the way that this community has shown up for each other this year, the way that we've supported each other and held space for each other to help process everything that's happened, and also to hold space for joy and silliness. This past fall, I got to spend a lot of time climbing with the program and also learning how to skateboard with a lot of folks from the program. And it was so fun just to fall together and catch each other and laugh together, sometimes at each other, and just to be really silly and experience unfettered joy. So thank you to my Young Women Who Crush fam.
Hey Amy, been waiting for the right moment to send this. So, we measured about 17 inches of snow in town this morning, the first big snow of the season. So today, I'm grateful for winter and for a brief time to not think about work and get outside on some cross-country skis in a town that I'm grateful for, with no snow plows and a day with more snowmobiles than cars on the road because there's so much snow, and a little puppy that's bounding along with me. So, I'm grateful for all kinds of things, but this morning, right now, I am grateful for the change of seasons. Skiing right out the front door. It's fun.